Hi, you're in Steve's Kitchen, and today we are going to make a favourite yogurt of mine, granola. Now they sell these in the supermarkets often with a little corner of granola and a plain yogurt. You pop it in, the kids love them. Today we're going to recreate that, but it's going to be so delicious and so fresh. I'm going to start with the granola, just a small amount because it's so easy to make. Let's get on. Now, how easy is granola to make? I've just got myself a pan here. I'm going to take a spoonful of butter. This is salted butter, by the way. Pop it into the pan. A little dash of oil to stop the butter from burning. Maybe about a tablespoon. Some simple flat or rolled oats. Pop those in there as well. That's about a cup of oats, and about 1/4 cup of shredded coconut. I like coconut. If you don't, you can always leave it out. Pepitas. Just 1/4 cup of those as well. Any seeds will do. Now I've also got some dried cranberries here, but I'm not going to pop those in at the moment. And for sweetness, I'm just going to add a couple of spoonfuls of lovely honey. Now let's take this over to the stove. So on the stove, we're just going to pop this onto a medium heat. Take yourself a wooden spoon or a spatula and start to stir this through. The butters will melt, the sugars will dissolve. And all we're looking to do really is toast this through. You don't want it to burn, but you want a nice sort of golden brown on the oatmeal. Now it's important not to have the heat up too high. You don't want to burn the sugars or the oats for that matter. Now occasionally I just flatten the oats across the bottom of the pan, leave them for a moment or so. That just gives them a chance to toast off a little bit. And then you'll see when you turn it over, you start to see the little toasted bits of granola. Now at this point my granola is getting a nice golden brown, and I'm going to probably take it off the heat in a moment. Now look, I've just brought that off the stove. That's a wonderful golden brown. I need to take it out of my skillet because it's still a little bit hot and put it somewhere where it will cool down. Now at this stage I tend to add fruit if I wanted maybe dried apricots. I just happen to have some cranberries. I'm going to pop them in there. Give this a little stir through, just get the fruit evenly distributed. And then we're just going to leave this to cool down. And remember, this will last for days. Now just look how beautiful and crispy that granola is. And with the added bonus, this is sugar-free. So come on, I'm going to pop a spoonful of my granola mix in the bottom of a couple of glasses. And let's just crack open our fresh yogurt. This is yesterday's yogurt that I made. Don't forget, this is unsweetened, just delicious yogurt. And I'm just going to gently spoon this over the top of the granola. And whilst everybody else is having a tiny corner of granola from their shop-bought yogurts or yogurt, I am going to put as much as I like on the top of this one. Now stick with me, in a moment we're going to make the batch of yogurt for tomorrow, but tell me down below, would you mix this or eat it as is? I know how I go for it, just as it is. This smells delicious. Now I cannot tell you just how delicious this tastes. You're going to have to try it yourself. Now it's time for me to get on and show you how to make the next batch of yogurt. Now I've got a little treat for you. The next yogurt we're going to make is a strained Greek style yogurt. Don't forget, keep a little bit of the yogurt from the previous batch, a teaspoon or so, and then let's get on and make a fresh batch. All we're going to do is take a pint of full cream milk into a saucepan. Now, as I always say, the milk from the supermarket doesn't have enough milk fats in it, so I usually take 1/3 cup of milk powder, full cream milk powder, just to richen the milk up. Now, because I want to do a thick Greek yogurt, I'm going to add even more creaminess, another 1/3 cup in there. Of course, if you can get a really good milk from a dairy, go ahead. Most of us can't, so let's get this over onto a stove. So I've just brought this over to the stove, and as you've seen before, we're not going to let this boil, but we're just going to let the bubbles start to appear on the side just to scald the milk slightly. Now keep an eye on your milk, don't let it overboil. You can see just around the edges a little bit of foam appearing. That is perfect. We're just going to bring that back over now. I'm going to pop it back into my glass bowl. And because we've gone to the trouble of saving some yogurt culture in here, we don't want to put this in hot. Give it a little whisk. And the reason I do this just creates some bubbles on top, stops the skim from forming. Let this cool down for about 15 or 20 minutes. When you can dip your finger in there and it feels like blood temperature, we're ready to make our yogurt. Now the milk has cooled down a little bit. If I pop my little finger in there, it feels still a little bit warm. If you want to be precise, it's about 43 degrees Celsius, 110 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got our live culture in here. I'm just going to pour the milk in. And then what we need to do is just give this a little mix through. Do make sure that your mixers are sterilized, just to stir the cultures through. And that basically is it. Pop our lid back on, get it nice and tight. Don't forget this is a thermos, so it's going to keep it at that temperature for quite some time. But just to aid that, I like to pop it in a towel just to wrap it up. And then we're going to pop that somewhere not too cold, and tomorrow we've got a whole new fresh pot ready to go. And I'm going to make the Greek yogurt with that next, so join me for that. Be good, take care. Now I do hope you've been enjoying the series. Don't forget though, if you want to check out all the tips about making yogurt, watch the whole series. I'll leave a link there. Please share the love, give this one the thumbs up. I'll also leave a link to another series there as well. You guys take care, comments down below, be good, see you next time.